Hey guys, Dave here, back with another ad-free episode of FFBE War of the Visions. I don't normally do unit review videos because they take a long time, but I'm going to do one for Irudia because I kind of promised someone before that I would do one. So yeah, just hands down the best farmer. Big damage, big heals. So let's just jump right in. Take a look at the skill tree, the passives, what weapons you can use on her. And then I'm going to show some demo videos of her farming, of doing PvE content, etc., just to show how much damage she can do and how much use she can really be. Alright, so I borrowed this from my previous one. The numbers up at the top say that she's good for farming. As number 2, she's good for PvE and good for PvP. That's what the 3 and the 4 are. Her trust, it's kind of decent, not great or not bad. You can swap locations with a target within a certain range and then instantly get another turn. So it could be very useful. I see good potential in free match battles for units that can equip that. Like you can get behind enemy lines, like move, then move again, put their weak unit closer to your units, and then get an advantage on them. Or just for additional movement. But you have to be careful because it's going to put you in a more dangerous spot. Resistances, just normal. Oh, by the way, this is a water unit. It's a water unit. I didn't put the thing up there, but it's a water unit. Okay. All right. As far as resistances, she's strong against magic, but weak against all physical. But if you look at the stats, she's got pretty good stats across the board. So she's got decent hit points. Agility, the only thing that stands out maybe a little bit is the TP. It's pretty decent. Then confusion and disable resistance, a little bit of paralysis resistance, 10% AoE, and 5 spirit. So overall, like pretty good, pretty average stats. It's kind of like Miranda type stats across the board. Maybe a little bit less on the hit points. But nothing special here. The abilities is what makes her powerful. So let's jump right in and take a look. Okay, so for passives here, the first and the third one, height 3 to height 2, and level 4 to level 3. I'll explain how those work later once we get into the skills, because it's a little bit complicated. They call this unit the mathematician unit, but they trick you because the unit doesn't do the math, you do. So the second passive there, it's the same spellblade thing that you normally see. It's against your alias elements, so fire and then magic resistance. That's usually what I keep on. And then the fourth one, increased magic, the typical black mage ability. I usually keep those on. That way I don't have to worry about doing math and stuff. Then down below you have the counters. The magic counter, the third one, is absolutely useless because the first one, the damage bunpai distribution, I guess, that one basically does the same damage as the third one, and you absorb 50% of the hit points back. So it's similar to the Dragoon one, but it's a higher amount of hit points. 20%, it doesn't feel like it goes off 20% of the time. It feels like 10 to 15%. But when it does, it's pretty darn good. Especially since she doesn't have that high of a hit point pull. You get a good chunk of hit points back. And then the middle one is the typical Spellblade Magic Guard, 20% chance to reduce magic damage by 45%. Now she's already strong against magic, so it's not that great. I always keep on damage bunpai, or damage distribution, the first one, which is in her main tree, and you get that very early on. All right, so that's pretty much it for the passives. In order to achieve maximum damage, we're going to have to learn how to use 1 and 3 above, but we'll do that after we're looking at the skill grid. Okay, so we're going to take a look at her main job. We're not going to look at the sub jobs. Other than the mathematician sub-job, because there's nothing new there that we don't already have on global. Alright, so starting with the top, it's a height ko water, so I guess it's height, high water. I have no idea how they're going to translate that in English, but that's a single target attack. Now it doesn't show you here the height, but I believe the height, it's at least 4 on JP. You can go up and height pretty far, and that does a decent amount of damage right there. But it's single target, but you get 6 casts, so that's really nice. And you get that, and you get the second one, height, high, care, at like level 1, like starting the unit. So right away you get a good single target DPS and heal ability. Now, the next 3 abilities, the height 3 Kara, I guess in English, then your level 4 Waterga, your level 3 Holy, and then the sub job, the top one, the height 3, the bottom one, level 4 Watera. All of those are on the outside of the tree. So this unit is no better than an MR unit until they hit at least level 79 and have job level probably 10, 9 to 12, mostly 12, in order to unlock those abilities. Okay, especially the mathematician ones. I think you need like mathematician and maybe black magic or something like that to unlock all 4 of them. But those are your bread and butter for this unit. Like if you don't have those 4 abilities, the unit is no better than any other units. Okay, so you want to get it to at least 79 as quickly as possible, or you're not gonna. It's not gonna be any better than Mediana for farming, etc. Okay. Now the other ones we haven't talked about in the sub job, you have height 3, which is don't attack. I guess that's disable in English. And then the one below that is CT arrange. So it kind of averages out the CT. So I guess if you've taken your turn or something like that, you can rearrange everyone's CT, average it out, and then, make the enemy slower. So it's sort of like a steal time if you use it right, but if you don't, it could actually hurt you. All right, so I combined a couple screenshots here to show you the full skill tree, because I think like the in-game Gumi skill tree is much easier to understand. It's got colors and pictures than any of the websites I've seen like on a spreadsheet, because spreadsheets suck. No offense, it feels like work. So here you can see her 2 main abilities, as I said, the single target heal and water. They're left and right of the portrait, and then the damage distribution is just below that to the left, the blue one. So you can see you get all of those right away, but the holy is at the top middle. The level 4 Watera, sub job one, that's at the left side. Then on the right side you have the level 4 care, and then the bottom right you have Karga. Waterga, my bad. So those are the ones you want to go after. And then you don't get the magic up, that's the green one at the bottom, until quite a ways in. And then the green one at the top, middle-ish, that's your resistances. So you don't get that for a while either, but you do get the level and height things after that. So now that we're looking at the whole skill grid here, let's jump in and explain how they work. Okay, so we broke it down into 2 categories based on the tile height of the map or based on the unit's level. Okay, now how it works, it uses multipliers. If you don't know what a multiplier is, let's say you have 9. 3 is a multiplier of 9 because it goes into 9 3 times. 4 is not a multiplier of 9 because it doesn't go into 9 evenly. Okay, so for example, the holy ability here works off of unit level, I believe. It's one that works off of level and not height. So if the unit is level 99, you want to change 4 to 3 because 99 is a multiple, a multiple of 3, right? But if the unit's level 98, for example, it's really neither one. So you are the one who has to do the math. So if you want to get the maximum damage out of this unit, you have to prepare ahead of time. That's why I like to just do the resistance and the black magic, boost, 30% damage boost, and not have to worry about that. But if you're going into arena or something and you're going up against dark units, then hey, that's going to be like the best one for you. Maybe turn off the magic resistance since she's already somewhat strong against that, and do more damage. So the way that they did it is you can't have the best of both worlds. So you have a height 3, a height 4, and then you have a unit level 1. So you can't have all 3 of her big abilities, the 2 waters and the holy or the healing, all at maximum damage. So you have to kind of pick and choose. So you can pick like 1 or 2 in the black magic, or you can pick none with the resistance in the black magic. So I mean, it's all up to you. For hard trials, you're probably going to want to calculate it ahead of time, but for general stuff, I just like the resistance in black magic because it's easier. Okay, so when she comes out, the Platinum Mace also comes out. Here's just a brief glimpse of what you'll need to do it. You can get everything in that event. I believe there's a book event up there, but we probably already have maces from something else, just like saved up. But if not, I believe they do give you everything you need at that time. So we'll take a look on the next page, because I know people are going to ask me about the Platinum Rod. Or not Platinum Rod, the Healing Rod. So let's take a look at them together and compare. Okay, so what is the biggest difference? Well, the biggest difference is the Rod gives you 2, not 6, but 2 charges of Curata, which is, the very high single target heal ability. So this can give, and the reason I put Masheri up on the screen is that useless unit might actually be useful with the Healing Rod. Not the Platinum Mace, the Healing Rod, because she has her base weak heal, and then with the ability to have that and also cast Banish as a white mage, etc., and with a cleric, I think that she could be very useful later in the game with that thing. And then if you're in the tower or something, if you had multiple versions of the Healing Rod, then I'm assuming you could just swap to the other rod and you'd still have the 2 uses, so you could do that between floors. So yeah, Masheri might make a comeback. She's got a really nice trust that I've been eyeing, and other people have been eyeing as well, but I just haven't really allotted the resources to going after her. But now that I know about that, maybe I'll start working on her in the background. Okay, putting that aside, the Healing Rod and the Platinum Mace, the biggest difference is that the Platinum Mace is just more damage. So as you can see, there's more damage on there than the Platinum Rod that other units get, like Mediana, Ayaka, etc. So it goes up to 184. And then the Rod only goes up to 157. So you get, roughly 30 more magic on the Rod. Now I did a test on JP, and 115 magic on my Irudia roughly equated to 10 to 15% more damage. So I'm assuming you're looking at 4 or 5% more damage with that, with the Platinum Mace. It's not going to be a huge amount, and the heal is definitely nice having. But the Platinum Mace literally just came out on JP. It's still out right now. It's 4 months in the future. So if you're going after the Mathematician, you definitely want the Platinum Mace right away, because if you don't have it, she's going to suck, because she's not going to be doing that much damage. And the whole point that you want her is to farm right away or to do good in arena. And there's really no other weapons she can equip. I mean, you could use the normal brown mace, etc., but it's just not going to have the firepower that a +5 is going to have. Okay, so from here on out in the video, we're going to go into the verification videos where I'm going to show you her in action. So there you can see that was her holy. She hit the Dark Fiend there for 3200-ish, and the Skeleton not for so much, but they have a high magical resistance. All of the units on this map in the Galbez Brutal Challenge, they had lifesteal, and it was very difficult. As you can see, they have Don't Move there. They cast that on Rain, so that was kind of annoying as well. So this one we barely beat. Rain is not really good for this. Orlando was okay with his limit break, but he's not ideal either. So you like Ramza, light units like that. Actually, Masheri would be really good with the AoE banish on this. But again, she doesn't have the platinum, the healing rod at this point in the game. So this is the Final Fantasy IV event. This is the same map that you're going to be using for the Kain and Rosa UR weapon box event. You're not going to have all of the same mobs. The mobs and everything are going to be a little bit easier for you, but it's going to be the same map. And as you can see, when you take down the second skeleton, Galbaz is going to come out. So I believe this is where you farm Cecil's shoulder pads. Alright, so here's the Holy here against 2 of those units, full life, bam. Okay, now did you see it only did 25 something there, but when the thing was up on the ledge it did 32. So that's the difference right there. So if you play around with that beforehand, I mean right there was what, probably 15-20% more damage just by being on the correct height. But again, I always keep it on the same one. So this is just a quick example of what Holy can do. It's still powerful, even when it doesn't do the maximum damage. Okay. Now I'll just show you this real quick before I cut to the next video. Orlando does his limit break here, and it does one-shot all of those magical guys, and that's a big key point if you're doing this for the multiplayer achievements, because I know not everybody was going to have all the best units for this, especially if you're free to play or you don't really spend much on the game. So if you have the bells on Orlando, or you just want to do a lot of auto attacks in the beginning with a healer, play it safe, and then when those guys move in slowly, just unleash 2 limit breaks on them. You'll pretty much clear out the room with that. I just wanted to add that. Okay, so we're going to start the match now. There's only 2 of us, so it's going to take longer than with 4 Irudias because you're going to have more enemy turns. So as you can see, bam, bam, 2 enemies dead, 3 enemies dead, quite easily. Now this is the newer multiplayer on JP where animations are off. Her animations will take maybe 3 to 4 seconds, but it's still much quicker than Mediana's like 10 to 15 second limit break, which can crash the game, and also her stupid roleplay, I call forth ye the blizzard, blah 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 blah, that nobody cares about. So you don't have to watch roleplay, you don't have to watch long animations, you don't have to have your game crash, and it's quick. So look, it's already over. Now in there you saw the damage distribution go off. However, I was wrong when I said earlier that the magic counter is completely useless. I didn't realize damage distribution is based on what damage is done to you. Magic counter is based on your own magical stat. So I probably would have one-shot killed him had I had the magical counter on. As you've seen how strong Mediana's counter is. I've had my Mediana hit about 4K on certain counters. So that's pretty crazy. So, I mean, you've seen how this works. If you're farming with a friend or whatever, or just random people in multiplayer, you expect the games to be half of what they are now. Okay. Now people are going to start to get picky and choosy. Once this mathematician unit came out, they're basically like Irudia only. And if you don't have Irudia, it's going to be like a raid. You're just going to get kicked right out of the room because they want to do it fast. I don't blame them because you can get twice as many materials in half the time. So another funny thing was the bathing suit Katone unit just came out, the new fire one, which is still up on JP. And if you go on YouTube, probably still, that unit is 100% overshadowed by a repeat feature banner of the mathematician. I looked on YouTube, there was like 2 Katone videos, and then there was like 4 pull videos for Irudia, even though she came out, like 3.5 months ago on JP. So, this unit, it's like, you have Ziza, and then you have like the mathematician. This is like the unit to have for the 3 farming events right now. She's super useful for all of those. One of them has all fire units, so you can just go bam, 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 and she's hitting them for like 6k. It's absolutely ridiculous. So I mean, this unit's really strong, and yeah. Alright, so this is from the challenge event that's currently up for the Ras Al-Ghathi, the Healing Rod, and Sasuke's Katana. Yes, they finally brought it back. They need to bring it back on global now. But anyways, that's the party that I took into the mission. There, I did finally clear level 30 of the tower the second time it came around. Glacilia is wearing that ring, and Irudia is wearing the raid orb, which is 115 magic plus a +5 healing mace. Okay, healing rod, whatever. So in the picture below, you can see, like right at the start of the mission, you can instantly take out 3 of them, and it's doing pretty much 6k to all of them there. If it crits, it'll do 6k. So crazy damage. So this was for the Ras Al-Ghathi, this one right here. So if you still haven't had the gun at that point, or if you have like Luasa, the top right gunner, the blonde one, you'll probably want to pick up another copy of that if you don't already have another one. And yeah, the mathematician just makes farming it trivial. You get 4 of them and you're done within a couple turns, and you'll have it in no time at all. Alright guys, that's it for the mathematician video. I hope this gives you all the information you need to decide whether or not you're going to pull for this unit. Like even if you spend a little bit of money on the game, I think this unit is definitely worth it. Maybe if you skip out on Glacilia, I mean, it's all up to you. But if you can farm materials in half the time, it's going to save you a lot of headache. That's all I'm going to say. You know, again, I've put a lot of my opinion in here that I think is a really great character and worth going for. But in the end, do what you enjoy and what you have fun with. So again, up on the screen, Discord is always open. I'm also thinking about starting live stream free matches every Friday night or maybe Saturday night on YouTube. So let me know in the comments below what you think about that, or if you have any Irudia comments. I'm thinking maybe we can try, you know, like SR only, MR only, you know, like male only, female only. Yeah, like different requirements and whatnot. Then I'll, I guess, black out the screen for a couple seconds, do it, give the password out, people can join, and then I'll rebroadcast it. We can do that. People can fight me, or we can have like some type of a tournament with, you know, screenshots showing the winners, and maybe give out some type of a prize or something like that. But just as an idea, let me know what you think, and I'll see you again on another episode of FFBE War of the Visions. Take care.